Okay, everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Morally Dangerous, because that's what I was already playing when I decided to start the stream. Howdy, y'all. Welcome back. It's gonna be a chill day. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday, right? I have no idea where I am. I have no idea what time it is. What day it is. Welcome to the VTuber life. Yeah, this is just gonna be a chill stream. Like I said, I was already playing this. I've started yet another expedition out, so I thought, you know what, let's just play this in Zatsu for a little bit. You know, we might hop into Marvel Rivals or something like that later tonight. It comes and goes like the wind. I don't know. It's very cold. I'm very cold. It's just a very lazy day out. And yeah, I wanted to just hop in here. You know, with these expeditions, it takes so long to travel everywhere that yeah, it's gonna take some time. So I figured, you know what, if I'm gonna be stuck waiting for my fleet carrier for, you know, 13, 14 hours at a time worth of jumps, I might as well just go ahead and stream a little bit and, you know, just kind of catch up, say hi to everybody, see how y'all are doing. You know, nothing super fancy right now. I'm like heading towards the Galactic Center. We're not even halfway there yet, so it's gonna be a bit. It's gonna be a while. We've got a long road ahead of us. Right now, I'm basically sending out my fleet carrier and then chasing down after it. I'm in an area that doesn't have a whole lot of discovered systems yet. So yeah, now I'm obviously not going for the high-end systems in this area. It's still too close to the bubble, I think, and too much along the main highway up towards Sage. But yeah, all these little smaller systems, these B and C and D systems, it seems like I'm having a little bit of luck. And yeah, this trip is going to be, you know, hopefully finding some cool stuff. Really still kind of looking for a Jolly Green Giant. But aside from that, it's not gonna be my usual of like HMAS hunting or anything like that. It's just gonna be chill. It's as much a money-making expedition as it is anything else. I didn't really do a whole lot of money-making the last time with exobiology and all of that. So this time, I'm getting a little low on funds. I'm down to like 3 billion now, so it's time to catch up. There have been a few things that I wanted to talk about since my last expedition out. I can't remember really if I streamed a whole lot. I did a big expedition out to Dryman's Point, that region. So yeah, it was fun. You know, we did about 1,500 newly discovered systems out there. But there was also a lot of things that I learned regarding like Power Play 2.0 and a few things like that. So, you know, to kind of start off today, that's kind of what we'll talk about. And then we'll get to just kind of chilling and talking about life, right? You know, if you guys just want someone to lull you to sleep in the background or something with this smooth voice of mine, I don't know why y'all watch. But yeah, you know, with Power Play 2.0 and exploration and stuff, I feel like there's been a lot of misinformation going around, so I am going to be here to kind of clear things up a little bit. So like I said, my last expedition out was about 1,500 newly discovered systems. So it was a good payday. I didn't focus nearly as much on like scanning as I should have, but in hindsight, now I kind of know how it all works. The big thing with exploration and Power Play 2.0, like I said, there's a lot of misinformation. If you go into the old Brown Sea, the old official forums, you're going to see a lot of people saying, hey, you know, exploration does not give merits unless you are scanning a high value bodies. That is not true. That is absolutely not true. You do not have to find these undiscovered terraformable water worlds or anything like that to try and get merits from exploration. However, there is a baseline for total system value that you have to take into account. Right, and I'll show you how my methodology here in a little bit. Most of it you'll have to probably look on EDSM to look at my past discovered things, right? But I did save a couple systems of importance that I'll show you after I'm done scanning these planets, right? So yeah, high value bodies, they do give bonus merits. They do give you a slight bonus when turning in, but you do not have to have a minimum of a high value body to get merits from PowerPlay 2.0. So the way that it works is there is a total system value that is a minimum. It is a threshold that the game needs. It does not matter if it has any high value bodies in it. It just needs a total system value of a certain amount. So yeah. What I did to find this is during my expedition out to Dryman's Point, I found a system that was actually perfect for this. So let me bring it up. There we go. Let me make it a little bit larger for y'all. There we go. So this is out in Dryman's Point. This is a system with 102 bodies in it. However, not a single one of those is a high value body. Not a single one of them. They're all just like rocky bodies, icy bodies, obviously the giants out and about. I did not DSS scan any of those. I typically don't DSS scan anything that's not high value anyways. But I will, you know, when I'm doing discoveries, excuse me, try and go out and scan as much as I can. You know, I want to at least discover all of the bodies, especially with the system this large. So yeah, this is a system with 102 bodies, but none of them were high value, and it did give me merits. The total value for this one was about 800,000. 800,000 credits, and it did give me merits. Now the merits come in blocks of 120. I can't remember how much this one was, like 240 or 480 or something like that. But yes, it did give me merits despite not having any high value targets in it. Nothing in this was DSS scanned, right? I should have, just to really surprise someone that goes out there later on. Yeah, and so continuing from there, I went ahead and I started turning in systems one by one. And sure enough, most of my systems that were 668,000 or above were giving me merits. And then I think the highest one that did not give me merits was 663,000. So the threshold is somewhere in there. I would imagine it's probably 665. You need a minimum threshold of that much for total system value to start getting merits from it. But yeah, anything that I had that was above 668 was giving me merits. Anything below 663 was not giving me merits. So yeah, the threshold in there is somewhere around there, and it makes sense, right? Like if I did DSS scan any high value bodies in any of those systems that I had turned in, it would immediately jump way beyond 668, right? So those were systems that had no high value bodies. They were systems I were just scanning the bodies in the old radar, right? So nothing really of importance, but they just had a lot of bodies, or you know, something in there was giving them a little bit more value than just a bunch of ice blocks, right? But yeah, so nothing really important in most of those. Yeah, and sure enough, as I was going through it, as I started looking at like the really high value systems, you know, the ones worth a couple million a piece, you know, the ones that had the Earth likes and the water worlds and that kind of thing, they were giving me more merits than I should have been getting. You know, based on the math of the 665 or whatever, right? So it makes me think that as long as you're meeting the minimum threshold for just total system value, like I said, I estimated to be 665. They could have gone with the Iron Maiden number. just for the heck of it. They are very British, right? But somewhere around there, right? So as long as you're meeting that minimum threshold, you're going to get merits for it. But it did seem like they were giving me bonus merits whenever I did actually scan a high value body like an Earth-like or a terraformable water world or something like that, right? Which kind of makes sense because that's kind of how exploration works, right? Like you go in and you get money for FSS scanning the planets, but if you decide you want to do a detailed scan, then you get more merits or you get more money, right? Like it kind of makes sense. So, you know, when you're starting to look at, you know, people giving advice on how to do certain things to get merits for exploration and that kind of thing. Like I said, anyone telling you that you have to scan a water world or something like that, that's not true. You just need to make sure that the system is sufficiently large to get you the merits. I mean, overall, let's be honest. I turned in 1,500 systems. You know, some of those didn't give me any merit, some of them did. All told, like after everything was all done, I got maybe 40,000, 45,000 merits total out of like a 2-week expedition out. I mean, 1,500 first discoveries is a lot. That's a long time to kind of be out there in the middle of nowhere, right? It's really kind of rushing through things. Now, it probably would have been a little bit higher, the merits, if I had actually known about the threshold beforehand and I took more time scanning every body or every system. I didn't always do that. You know, it got to the point where, you know, I'd load into a system, there were just a bunch of rocky bodies or icy bodies, and I just move on, right? All explorers kind of know the feeling at a certain point. If I had known about the minimum system threshold, I probably would have spent more time and gotten some more merits out of it. So like this one right here, 48 bodies, even if they're all garbage, it will still probably give me merits because I'm guessing that's more than enough planets to meet the minimum threshold for the system, regardless of what the individual values of those bodies are, right? But yeah, it was a long time out there. It was a good amount of time. It was worth doing. You know, it gave me a bit of an idea on how things are working right now with PowerPlay 2.0. But ultimately, like, even knowing how it all works, exploration is not really the kind of thing that you really want to be doing to try and gain ranks and loyalty, right? It's just not worth it compared to just sitting there mining for a long time in, you know, a really good platinum spot in some system. It's just not worth it. It's a nice little bonus when you're coming back from a big trip, if you decide to keep everything, right? You know, I'm not gonna say no to 45,000 merits, but you know, I made significantly more than that after, you know, a couple trips mining in Ashling space, right? So you know, really, it's not gonna make or break your exploration. I really wouldn't consider trying to do exploration as a way to level up or anything. But, you know, that kind of information might be important if you are trying to, you know, do your dailies or something like that. That can be big. So, you know, if you're just trying to get your weekly merits or whatever, I know a lot of us do usually get like, hey, do some kind of cartographic data in this system, right? You know, it can help with that. And I think that's probably what the majority of players would use that information for. But yeah, you know, don't listen to the misinformation going around. You don't have to find an undiscovered Earth-like world to get merits from a system or anything like that. You just need to find a big enough system. Like I said, it's roughly 665, more or less. I did not have any systems like in that range between 663 and 665 to really kind of fine-tune it a little bit more. But I was literally turning in like 28 pages of data, one system at a time, trying to narrow down what exactly the threshold was and how exactly the merits work for PowerPlay 2.0 and exploration. So there you have it. There's your science. There was 2 weeks of work given to you, and do with this information as you will. And yeah, this time, you know, this trip out, I'm more about trying to find the cool things. I want to get some good screenshots. I found a decent amount last time. You know, just ignoring the old method I was using of just trying to find HMAS systems and try and find like, ooh, the biggest and strongest, baddest systems ever. Yeah, that went by the wayside pretty quick. I had a lot more fun just like hanging out and seeing what was there along the way. Jolly Green Giants can really kind of pop up anywhere, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because it means I'm going to a lot more of these other systems, these smaller systems or cooler systems, right? And I'm finding some good stuff. I'm finding some things that are interesting to look at. I got a lot more screenshots the last time than I had in quite a while. So yeah, you know, I would say that's going to be kind of the focus of my exploration going forward. I'm not going to be as worried about trying to find the big heavy systems. We'll just we'll just have fun seeing the sights along the way. But that is also why I'm trying to head back up kind of towards the Galactic Center. I know it's a lot more thoroughly explored for like the really popular like targeted areas, right? Those HMASs and that kind of thing. But there were, you know, there's a lot of undiscovered black holes up here and pulsars. The star density is just so big that I could sit here scanning C&D systems all day. And it seems like those are the kind of systems that are more likely to have a green giant. So yeah, you know, I thought, why not? We'll just come back up here. I've been into this area many times before. Well, I wouldn't say many. I've done 2 or 3 expeditions up in this area. So, you know, I've been here quite a bit. I got a few bookmarks to kind of let me know where I've been at. But just the sheer number of things up here should make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit easier to just kind of just veg out for a little bit. You know, I got so frustrated trying to find, you know, these really heavy systems only to see the same names pop up over and over again. And I've ranted about it in my past streams here before. And I think just putting that aside and no longer caring about that, I am having a lot more fun with it. So we'll be out here a bit. You know, I don't know how often we're going to stream me just scanning planets or anything like that. But I thought, you know, it would be nice to stay out here until we at least know a little bit more about colonization, because that'll be coming. We've got the next frontier unlocked coming up here pretty soon, week and a half or so. And yeah, we should have a lot more information on it. You know, there's rumors that the open beta that they have been hinting at, basically the first rollout of colonization, could be sometime in late February. It seemed like they were pretty far along on it. I mean, don't forget, it was something that was originally supposed to come out like at the end of last year, right? That was like the next big feature. But yeah, unfortunately, no luck quite yet. But yeah, if they do late February, then, you know, I'll start slowly making my way back. Slowly start making my way back to the bubble and start working in on that. We'll have to see like what exactly is going to be involved with it. I'm guessing it's going to be a lot of commodities to build those stations. So if that's going to be the case, then, you know, I need to shore up the funds and all of that. And just make sure that I can afford buying all the things to build a space station. It doesn't sound like it's going to be expensive to buy the permit, but the commodities, who knows? That could be anything. It could be anywhere. So yeah, we'll just hang out here for a little bit. Honestly, I don't really have a whole lot else going on game wise. You know, the Final Fantasy 14. I wouldn't be surprised if we have another live letter like sometime at the beginning of February, and that'll you know, get me interested again, since I unfortunately still cannot find a house for my FC on Balmung. So until that gets unlocked again, there's really not a whole lot else I can do. We had one medium go up this week. I lost the bid on it. Yeah, as expected, there were like 300 people to put in a bid. So, you know, it is what it is. you know, if they can finally give us some more information about changing the interior sizes and how much that's going to cost, then like, yeah, I'll be a lot more likely to hop back into the game, because I will probably be more able to get an FC house. But you know, either way, new content, new live letter stuff is always a lot of fun. So yeah, you know, that'll be coming up. That's something we can always hop in and out of, and I don't know, watch me use crafting macros for a few hours at a time. Woo, buddy, that's the kind of thrilling content you get here on these streams, right? But yeah, so with all that going on, you know, it's just kind of a chill time right now for these open world games. So we'll just kind of take it as it comes, play it by ear. And, you know, it'll probably be a little bit more like Marvel Rivals, and obviously finishing up some of the other Final Fantasy games going forward. But, you know, we'll still be hopping in here, just doing some exploration and stuff. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll get a timeline of, like, when I can start streaming this regularly again at the end of the month. I imagine this next Frontier Unlocked is going to give us a little bit closer of a time frame on when we'll actually start getting colonization. I think it'll come sooner than you think. So, so until that happens, we'll be out here, be out here in the middle of the galaxy, God knows where, just scanning a bunch of M-class red dwarfs, I guess. That's where we're at. Now, whether or not, you know, the other thing is whether or not colonization is going to work. You know, that's another big unknown. It could get real scuffed. I mean, like half of Power Play 2.0 is still turned off right now, so you know, things can happen. We don't know how it's all gonna work. You know, I am a little more confident since like building sims is kind of more FDev's wheelhouse. They're very good at those kind of things. So like implementing it into this game seems like it's kind of a no-brainer. I'm more worried about like the servers and how having a bunch of new colonies is going to affect like the tick time and BGS and that kind of thing. Thankfully, it seems like they've been working on the whole Mauve Adder thing, but I have been getting a few of them out and about while I've been on this short little trip. So, you know, things happen. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, nothing. That's the downside with all of these little M-class stars. I do not find life all that much. Like you really kind of need D-class stars for that kind of thing, or even F-class. But yeah, or like white stars. I haven't been visiting a whole lot of like, or F-class stars. Yeah. I haven't been visiting as many of those lately. I was confusing star class with weight there for a second, but yeah, it's been a little rough trying to find life. I do want to do some exobiology while I'm out here, because that is far and away the quickest way to shore up my funds. I've got like 2.5 billion on my carrier, and I have like 1.5 billion like in my bank. Yeah, I spent a lot. I spent a lot between Tritium, and I also built an exploration cutter, so that was some money. Oh, and I also finally bought a second anaconda, but this one's like an actual fighting anaconda, so that was also a whole lot of money trying to A-rate everything. Yeah, so I'm a little low compared to what I'm used to, and yeah, I need to scan some plants. I need to scan some plants to get that back up. All right, where we at? All right. Yeah, no real luck with these gas giants. I was hoping to find some like really big boys. I mean, I know, like saying, hey, I want to find a green gas giant. Like that's just. Buddy, we all want to find a green gas giant, but yeah, I didn't really see a whole lot else. I think the only kind of interesting things that I saw from the Giants last time I was out was really just a couple class 5s. Those were some hefty boys. They're kind of ugly looking. I don't see them all that often. But you know, I found a couple of those. But those are definitely the largest. Obviously no like helium giants or anything like that. I didn't even really see a whole lot in terms of like shepherd moons or anything like that. There were a couple small bodies that were kind of cool. You know, a couple that were very close to being a galactic record, but not really all that much. Most of the interesting things that I saw out in Dryman's Point, I don't know if you saw and read it the other day, but someone posted the graph of like all of the notable stellar phenomena. Dryman's Point is just filled with them. Like it was like every other system I was running into those little the carbuncle trees or whatever they're called, right? So that was kind of neat. You know, I don't know why it seems like some regions just have so many more than others. But yeah, if you really want to go find some NSPs, you know, make the trip out to Dryman's, because there is no lack of them. They're just everywhere. Okay. Anything good? Anything good? Any signs of life? Oh, hey, this is the system with my fleet carrier. Well, that makes that a little easier. Anything good? Wow, 400k out. I mean, that's not really that big of a deal. Now that I've got the Mandalay, like that's doable. But I was hoping for a little more. I was hoping for a little more. At least give me 3 signs. If you want me to go out 400k from the primary star, you're gonna need to give me at least 4 signals. Like it ain't happening outside of that. It's just not worth the trip. All right, yeah. So I'm going for like that little corner up there. It's fine. Like I'm sure it has been thoroughly explored for like interesting like big systems, but I'm sure some of these smaller systems and just the sheer density of everything means we'll still find some cool stuff. Like I'll be honest, after a while you kind of stop looking at the black holes and that kind of thing, because a lot of them just really don't have a lot of anything. It's a whole lot of nothing. So I'm kind of banking on that for some of my fellow explorers. I'm hoping they got as bored as I did after a while. Let's check some of these. Let's check some of these F-class stars. See if I can find some life. Just give me an excuse to land on a planet. Be something to do, guys. I'm not gonna be hooting and hollering over bacteria, but at least give me some like fungus or something. Anything really. That anaconda was like 600 million. I need my monies. I need my monies here and in real life. But yeah. You know, aside from that, you know, it's been kind of chill. I tried to do a little bit of power play stuff the past week. It was mostly mining. It seems like mining is the way to go right now. And thankfully, Ashling has like a couple really good platinum spots for mining. We had a good week last week. I mean, I'm not big into like the power play drama. I don't really pay attention. I'm not in any of the power play discords or anything like that. I'm very much an independent faction. Right, and some of the stuff that I do with my squadron is very much at odds with what Ashley wants to do. But you know what? I wanted to get merits. I got my pacifier frags, so I'm ranked 91. There's really nothing above that I feel like I absolutely have to have. Like, I don't need the Cyto Scrambler. Like, what even is that? So, you know, we'll just take it as it comes. I do try going in and helping systems when I can, because it is kind of fun to feel like I'm contributing something. But you know, it is a little difficult for one person to try and move an entire system with mining really being the only option. You do get a lot of merits, don't get me wrong. I definitely prevented a couple systems from getting fortified, and you know, helped boost a little bit of our own space. But man, is it mindless. Man, it's rough. It's rough. I mean, I like mining. I like space trucking, but the sheer amount of it that you have to do to really make any headway it's a lot. It's a lot of mining. You know, I was just loading up my cutter. I feel like I only used maybe half of my limpets before I was done. I could only refine about 200 minerals before I was just like, I can't do this anymore. It was even worse when trying to do like a core mining. I am not very good at finding cores at all. Like, not even in the slightest. All right, well, this is something. I don't know. It's not going to be worth a whole lot. I do not have Bio Insights turned on. Like, I have the Botanist plugin for Elite Observatory, but I don't have Bio Insights, the one that actually, like, tells you what is most likely to be there. So I still have to go here and actually scan. It's fine. It'll be Bacterium and something else. If it's Osseous, I'm just... Next system. Not dealing with that. But if it's, you know... I would even take Tussock right now. I just need something to change it up. I'd be fine scanning some grass. This will be touching grass. God knows I'm not going to be touching grass in real life anytime soon. It is, god damn, it is cold. But yeah, it's been a little weird. You know, they really need to turn back on, if nothing else, escape pods. Like, I don't know why they haven't turned escape pods and rares back on. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to adjust the merit gain from them. Like, now that mining is, like, the thing, like, are they really going to tell us, like, oh, they can't figure out how to make rares worth less than or equal to mining? Like, it's still going to take about the same amount of time given the regen rate on these things. Like, no matter what they do, it's going to be a solved problem. People are going to figure out, like, what is the best merit gainer and just hammer that as much as possible. So, like, yeah, it just really sucks being an Ashling supporter right now and having, like, half of our stuff turned off. But that being said, I mean, I had fun actually trying to contribute with power play stuff the past couple weeks, even if it was just sitting in a platinum hotspot for, you know, days at a time. But you know, it is a little rough feeling like we had some really good fights. Like, I don't know if you guys were paying attention to everything going on around Seoul, but like, we were fighting for Bernard's Star and the 61 Virginis and all of these others. And because so many of the other powers have combat bonuses and all of our bonus stuff was like turned off, like, it wasn't even a fight. Like, yeah, Archer took those like handedly. There wasn't even a contest for it. And I'll be honest, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks feeling like that. That we just couldn't contribute, right? Because we literally couldn't contribute. Our stuff was turned off. So yeah, I hope they get it figured out soon. I know they've got their hands busy with colonization and stuff, but like, come on, guys, it shouldn't be this hard to balance. Like, I've ranted about the whole merits and Power Play 2.0 system before, so I don't feel like I need to rehash it all that much. But like, guys, this is your game. Like, you set the pace. If you want something to be done, just do it. Like, just do it the way that you want it done. You control the game, guys. Like, I mean, overall, I mean, I still like Power Play 2.0. I like having things to do and like a focus of some sort when my squadron is kind of like in quiet time. But yeah, they really need to like start working on fixing some of this stuff. At least turning some levers back on, right? But then again, you know, they still haven't fixed the Concord cannon bug. I did put 2 Concord cannons on my new Anaconda, and sure enough, they do have the bug. So it is apparently a bug that is specific to overcharged engineering on the Concord cannons. You can actually get it restocked if you have a full clip when you actually press the button. So like, yeah, before you go flying off back to your carrier or to the nearest base or something, just go ahead and empty your entire clip on your Concord cannon and let it get stocked back up to max. And then you should be able to restock. But yeah, the one that is on my Ozark, the Corvette, that one is a high capacity, or, you know, extra ammo, whatever it is. That one, ooh, Stratum. It's probably going to be Pallius, but we're still going to try. We're still going to do this because this is money. Yeah, so that one never had that bug. But I did do overcharged on these two new ones, and yes, it does have the bug. And that's been in the game basically since they added the Concord cannons, and they still don't have that fixed. I don't think they have completely fixed the collector limpets either. That one I have not had an issue with. I've used a lot of limpets mining, but it's probably another one of those things that's like for a very specific controller or something like that. But yeah, the Concord cannon bug is very nasty. So, you know, they haven't even gotten that fixed. I guess maybe it's too much for them to... It's just too much work for the developers of the game to turn the things on that they had turned off before. That's asking too much. Asking for balance and parity between the powers is it's too hard. All right, you low quality Stratum, where are you? Like I don't think this was a heavy metal content world, so I don't think it's going to be Tectonica, but that's fine. I just need to scan something. I need to scan to feel something. I need to see a plant so I know I'm alive. This is what the space madness does to you after a while. But, you know, at the same time, like I was saying, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at in power play. Like, I don't really feel the need to, like, bum rush a bunch more merits. Like, there are people in, let me take a look. We've got some, like, people here that are, like, rank 600 or something. Look at that, or rank 899. Like, I have no reason to do that. Like, I will be, like, rank 91, maybe for another year or so. Because I just, you know, I got what I wanted out of it. There's really no reason for me to continue doing a whole lot of the power play stuff. If they do turn things back on and it feels like I actually can make a difference in, you know, fortifying or undermining certain systems, then, you know, it might be a little bit of a different story. But I'm not, I got other things I gotta do. I got some squadron stuff I gotta work on. The BGS is a lot more important to us than power play things. There are a few interlocking parts of power play that we do have to worry about. For the most part, we don't really care all that much. All right. Which one are you? How much are you going to disappoint me here? Is my auto lander even going to work? Who knows? Who knows anymore? They also need to balance out the engineering. Obviously, you know, the new engineering is very good. I like it a lot. But now there's like a very big mismatch between encoded materials and literally everything else. You know, I realized this after mining so much last week. You know, obviously you can go to an HGE, and those are really easy to just fill up on manufactured materials. You can do that in literally one trip. With mining being such a big thing, I don't think people are having too many issues with raw materials right now. But encoding sucks, man. It really sucks, especially when you need a ton of data mined wake exceptions. You know, you have the Jameson's crash site, and that's kind of the go-to place for a lot of it, right? But the problem with Jameson's is that it only gives you one type of G4 and one type of G5. And, you know, compared to all of the others, like HGEs, you can find G5s of all sorts of different types, right? If you need pharmaceutical isolators, go to a system with Outbreak, right? You know, go to an Imperial spot if you need Imperial shielding, that kind of thing. Kind of the same thing with raw materials. You can do brain trees, you can do mining. You're going to find G4s, G5s of pretty much every one of those rows. But in coding, you only get the one at Jameson's crash site. You get a few like grade 2s and grade 3s, whatever. They're just kind of there. But yeah, when it comes down to like trying to trade, encoding by far has the worst rates. Like, you have to make so many trips back out to Jameson's crash site if you need G5s of any of the other rows. Yeah. And especially with a lot of the engineering that I do, it's a lot of data mind wake exceptions. I feel like that has probably been the thing that I've needed more than any other, probably more than really any other type of material that I've had in the game. That it's either that or compound components, ceramic components, whatever it is. But yeah. So like they need to buff Jameson's a little bit, I think, and I don't know, either include more rows that it can pull from, or up the cap on what you can get for G5s, because I feel like 100 is too low. If you're only getting 100 of the G5 encoded and you've got to trade that to every one of the other rows, that is, it goes real fast. It's such a bad rate of return. So, you know, there's a few minor things that I've kind of relearned over the past week or so in the in the fugue state that was trying to get merits and get my pack cannons, right? Okay. This is man, this is not good. Come on. And now I'm 300 meters out. I know you guys can't see it. I'm looking down at my Elite Observatory pop-up. I do really appreciate that it actually tells me how far away I am from stuff now. By far, if you want to do exploration, please get an Elite Observatory. I know there's also like EDMC. I don't have EDMC. I feel like that's too many add-ons doing too many of the same things. So I use EDD and Elite Observatory. They kind of work in tandem. But yeah, it does tell you now how far away you are from your last scan, which is super helpful. God damn, this is so far away. It wouldn't be so bad if this wasn't like the Texas sand dunes right now. It's so bumpy. It's so bumpy. I'm just not a big fan of the whole starting and stopping thing. I dealt with enough of that in LA. I don't need it in my video game. Probably just another one of those things. Kind of like the whole SRV not reloading fuel like it does repairing when you land on your fleet carrier or go back inside. Probably just another one of those things that a bunch of weird forum dads were like, but my immersion. I'm sorry, man. I hate to tell you this. You're not actually in space right now. As cool as it might be to feel like you are, it is never gonna happen. I'm sorry. Yeah. They were probably like, well, we need more dunes and they need to be super bumpy for my immersion. Get out of here with that. Just let me scan things. We all end up returning to the mean of just wanting our money. It's the great cycle of MMOs, right? All right, thankfully these are a little closer. I hate going this far out because I'm always scared that my ship is gonna leave me. It's a Mandalay, it can land again, but I hate waiting for the thing. All right. Now we sit here waiting 5 years for this animation. Yep, looking at it. Yeah, that's a real nice canister. Real interesting to look at. And look at it really any time. It'll look the same whether it's got stuff in it or not. All right, back we go. I mean, that really, I wouldn't say it was necessarily worth it, but I don't know. I'm so low on funds that it wouldn't be a bad thing. It'll add up. That's the thing, is like I keep saying I'm low on funds as though like 1.3 billion is too low. And another 2.5 on the fleet carrier, right? Is this what happens when you become rich? Okay. How far away did I go? I mean, look at this. I'm just trying to get back to my ship. And it's just trying to spin me around all over the place. Like, I know it does get kind of funny for, you know, some of these craters and... God damn it. I hate this thing. Whenever I bought my exploration cutter, I put the Scorpion on that one. I've heard it's a little bit easier to control. You would think so, being so much bigger than this one. Here we go. All right. But yeah, like I was saying, aside, you know, aside from mining and that kind of thing, it was a chill weekend. You know, it was a couple easy days of work. It was super busy, but you know, we got through it. Didn't have anyone throwing their coffee at me or anything like that. So I guess I'll take that as a win. But yeah, it was just, you know, oh, there we go. It was just, you know, playing a little bit of Marvel Rivals, catching up on some streams, watching Nimi's debut, and yeah, just watching some of my favorites. It makes me sad that Nimi Nightmare keeps eating nightmares. Does she not know how hard I worked on those things? And she's just eating them up. She's just eating up all of my work that I spent hours upon hours making for you all. But, you know, I guess that's just my life at this point. I should be used to it. What you do with your nightmares is of no consequence to me, right? It is in your hands once it is out of mine. But come on, there we go. But yeah, I am having a lot of fun with Marvel Rivals. I do need to hop back into ranked. We'll probably stream a little bit of ranked later on this week. I am gold 3 right now. So like not super high, but I feel like I'm growing pretty fast. For how low level I am, I'm only level 18. In fact, I mean, if you really consider the time that I've actually been playing ranked, probably only like level 16 or so. A lot of that was just like quick play, I was trying to get in some matches with Bibu and the gang the other night when they were streaming. So like I gained another level and a half from that, just trying to get in and failing. But yeah, you know, I do like it quite a bit. I'm just always so nervous about trying to do stuff like that, right? Like I haven't played ranked like shoot man style games in a long time, in a significantly long time, right? I don't know. I don't have that anxiety when it comes to like MMOs and stuff, and I think it's probably because I'm playing against, you know, mechanics, right? Like it's just purely how is my performance? Are we able to meet these mechanics in FF14 or what? Yeah, there's just something about playing against other players in PvP that is very anxiety ridden, and it's not even like people have been super toxic for the most part. Like, yeah, people be like, why no heals? Even though I've got like 30k healing after one round, right? You still get that kind of thing, but I haven't had like too many people being toxic. So it's not even really that. I don't know. I just feel like because I have to be at the top of the game, top of my game, I mean, you know, for however long I'm streaming or whatever, it's just a lot of adrenaline, I guess. And I think there's always part of me that's like, hey, can I still do this, right? Like I'm a little bit of an older gamer compared to a lot of other VTubers, right? And that's fine. Like I still have fun with it, but like I also want to be good. Like I'm still very competitive. So, you know, it does get a little nerve-wracking. And the other thing is like I've never been really like particularly good at first-person shooters, or really just shooters in general. I think I was pretty good at Overwatch, but for the most part, it's not really like a trend with me. So when I start doing pretty good, I start getting like, should I be here? Am I doing okay? All right. And then on top of that, there's also just the whole streamer thing. Like, you know, it's hard to be a streamer being like, yeah, come check out gold. You want to check out the gold rank, don't you? Yeah, this is the real stuff right here, huh? Like, no one wants that. No one's interested in that. So, you know, oh wow. Okay. What in the world is going on there? Let's go check it out. That is a lot of biosignals. Surprised I didn't pop up. Maybe I have it set to only pop up when it gives me 8 or more. Yeah, that's a lot of life. Now some of those are probably just going to be like tiny little canyons, right? Here we go. But yeah, which speaking of exobio, this stuff definitely not worth it for merits. Exobio is 100% not worth it for merits. You know, regular exploration, as long as you're hitting that system threshold for value, you do get a fair amount of merits from it. But like exobiology, the threshold is like double or triple what it is for regular exploration. And just considering the time that it takes to actually get to the planet, scan it, land on it, find the 3 things, it is absolutely not worth it. So for me, for all of my exobio stuff, I'm just turning it in as I get to the fleet carrier. I'm not going to sit there holding on to it to try and get merits out of it. It was absolutely worthless. I turned in like 600 million in exobiology data. You got like 400 merits from it tops. It really was not worth the 4 stratum that I found or whatever, right? But yeah, you know, despite having a bit of anxiety about, you know, being the gold ranked Marvel Rivals VTuber, right? You know, I would like to grow. You know, we did manage to eventually hit Crystal in Crystal and Conflict, so I mean things can happen. But like, you know, they got the signups for that tournament going on. But I'm not part of any faction. I don't have any other VTubers that I play with or anything. Like, I'm open to collabs. I would love to play Marvel Rivals with other people, but I don't really know anyone. So unless someone hits me up here on Blue Sky, there's really just not a whole lot of collabs happening, right? But yeah, you know, you have to have a faction for it, and it's just, as much as I would like to sign up and just kind of see how things go, just have some fun with it. Like I can't really do that right now because yeah, I don't really know enough people to make a team or something. But yeah, you know, it's still a fun game, and I'll still keep trying it. You know, one of the things that I was having issues with that I gotta be honest about is that it is having some issues with streaming it. You know, the stream the other night with Callie and everyone, Callie, Boo, Kayla, all of them, they were having that same issue too, where Callie was like, wow, this is taking up so much VRAM and it's crashing on me. And yeah, there's definitely something going on. I imagine it's something involving NetEase's anti-cheat, as is traditional pretty much anytime you have an anti-cheat in a game, right? Yeah, there's definitely a significant difference, like more so than most games have, when I'm trying to stream it with the VTuber model on. And yeah, that does make it kind of hard to try and stream. And yeah, see, like Concha's got like that one little spot there, right? Really not a whole lot going on. We're gonna do it. Are we gonna love the tubus? You know, back in the days of paradise, we all love the tubus. Whoa, 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 buddy. Yeah, I did not mean to do that. Okay. So yeah, this is why I have UC and Vista on my fleet carrier. I see people talking about that all the time in my squadron's Discord, like, you don't need UC and Vista, it's just a waste of money, they're giving away your credits, right? It's like a 25% cut. Well, for one thing, things like this happen and you lose all of your data. The other thing is it's only 12.5% cut. The other 12.5 goes straight into your carrier, so you're still getting the money, it's just in a different spot. Yeah. So it's yeah. It's been a while since I've crashed into a planet because I wasn't paying attention, right? That's fine. I don't have that much data. We'll live. Come on. Come on. Try to aim for that, like, nice little smooth spot over there, and that's fine. We're not gonna reach it. It's all smooth. Alright, let's just find, like, a decent spot. Somewhere around here that I think would have, like, a good spread. I don't really... Man, I don't really see a whole lot of hills. So I'm guessing the osseous can just go F itself. Like, that's not... I'm not gonna deal with osseous. Osseous so far, to me, has been far and away the most annoying one to try and get. Like, it has something like a colony distance of 800 to 1,000. So it's just so spread out. And it only appears on, like, hilltops. Even if they're just tiny hills, it still needs a hill. So, like, trying to find a bunch of hills within that range is just too much. I still remember that one time trying to cross practically an entire planet just to get the disc osseous. Never doing that again. If I don't see, like, 3 decent spots immediately in sight, I'm just ignoring it. I mean, really, a lot of explorers just ignore everything that's not stratum. And, you know, to be fair, I can kind of see why. It's really annoying to deal with. All right. But, you know, we're streaming. We're having a good time. We're just hanging out, listening to some White Bat audio. And, yeah, we'll goof off. We'll goof around. That's what we do here. Oh. And of course, it's another sandy planet, because why wouldn't it be? Why would it be easy to control my SRV? Now, obviously, I could do this for like all of the planets in this system, because I mean, there's a lot. That's a lot of planets that have biology on it. It's all going to be the same stuff, so I don't know if it'll be worth it, but it does add up. Ooh, Tussock Propagito. I actually don't think I've ever found this before, so this is something new. This will be something to try and get that old Inara badge, right? But let's be honest, that's half the reason I'm doing some of this stuff is for badges. Just try and increase those ranks, right? I'm assuming this is still the Tussock, yeah. It's got the little flowers on it. Looks like lavender. Here we go. That's something I should probably do. I can turn on, and I can light my old cinnamon bun candle. Wee. I mean, it's definitely probably the prettiest Tussock that I've seen so far. Most of the time, it's just like thin old blades. These actually have little flowers on it. That's kind of nice. Propagito. Definitely, that is definitely new. I've never seen that before. All right. Now, how annoying are you going to be to find that last one? Okay, apparently not very annoying at all. That's fine. But you know, we came down here for the Tubus, and I don't even see any Tubus around. Maybe that's it over there. Maybe that's it, like in the distance. Yeah, we could explore a little bit. I think my Mandalay can auto land easy enough out and about here. It's not high grav or anything. Okay, yeah, I think that's Tubus over there. I don't think I saw Cactoidia on here. Maybe I did. Let's go take a look. Like, that is definitely a Tubus over there, but it's so far away. I just really don't want to deal with that. Okay. Well, these are kind of cool. Shame I haven't found any just really nice landscapes yet. You can kind of see the nebula up there in the distance, but that's really about it. All right, what do we got here? Lita Coronamus. Okay, so like this is, I'll be honest, this is some new stuff. I don't recognize any of these names. Which you would think, like, how can you recognize any of the names? But trust me, when you've been doing it a while, you kind of remember. It becomes a little bit easier over time. But these are all new, and I don't remember these colors either. What we really need to find is a cool, like, a black hole system. It's gonna be enough. Ooh, I think it will be. I think it will be. Just barely. Yeah, I need to find like a black hole or a neutron system so I can go find the Electray. They're not really worth all that much, which is kind of surprising considering like how hard it is to find them and oftentimes land on the planets to get them. But yeah, they're really cool looking and they're much bigger than you'd think too. Wee. All right, where was that other patch? Here we go. Yeah, this will be far enough out. Okay. Okay, come on. I believe in you, little scarab. Okay. Yeah, you know, we landed here for the Tubus. Didn't see any Tubus. So that's just how it's gonna be, I guess. I do want to take a look at the system map one more time to make sure that none of these were high metal content worlds. Because if they are, then they might have stratum on them. And that's the only Tubus that I see there. Tubus has a range of like 800. And since I don't see any others immediately in sight, I'm not dealing with that shit. I'm not dealing with that BS. I've got other things to do. I will make up for it in sheer number of systems that I visit. There will be others. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Like, I am expecting that we will probably add at least another 1,500, if not more, to my first discoveries after this. So, you know, I'll give others a chance. If you viewers want to come to this system, take a look at it. Crua Fio DRM D722. There you go. There's a whole lot of first discoveries waiting for you. Because I'm a very lazy man. There you have it, folks. Here's your free money. Come get your fleet carrier. Maybe. If I can make it over these goddamn dunes. Oh god. Oh god. There we go. Yeah, let's take a look. Once I get back into the atmosphere, I've learned to take my time opening that old map until I'm actually above the atmosphere. Until I've re-entered Super Cruise. I hate pressing my button to start Super Cruise and then it gives me that whole, oh, sorry, target obscured. Like, that's cool. I'm still not in Super Cruise. Let me do that first. Then I can worry about where the target is later. There we go. Whoa. Okay, let's... Ah, so that one does have a Thargoid sensor on it too. That's kind of neat. All right, any of you guys heavy metal content worlds? No. Does not look like it. Yeah, they're all rocky worlds, which means they're all probably going to have mostly the same stuff. So that being said, we can go out and explore around a little bit more. It's cool. I don't mind. Go up this little line here. That's most of what I've been doing, is I've been trying to find like decent clusters of little C and B systems, right? And just kind of making my way through that cluster. Like, if I try doing it all in a line, like, that's so much. There's so much that's going to be skipped doing that. And also, it's just a lot of gas. it's very easy to end up off course doing that as well. So like I like doing a little cluster and then I'll figure out where I'm going from there. Come on, come on. There we go. I did start pecking away at my next book, my sci-fi book that's been in the tank for a while. Last night, you know, I was just sitting here and I was like, man, this is like 20 minutes per jump, per fleet carrier jump to get me into like uncharted territory, right? So I was like, you know what, I haven't really done a whole lot of writing lately. Why not go ahead and just open up that old file and see how it's going? Yeah, you know, it's fun writing again. It's just, you know, the industry's in such a bad state, and it's so time consuming, right? It just takes so long for anything to happen, and like be honest, I'm kind of in need of funds sooner than later. I can't wait 3 years between finishing a book, editing a book, hopefully getting it published, and then making no money off of it, right? So I really have not done a whole lot of writing lately, but it kind of felt good to stretch my legs doing that again. Yeah, it's one of those things that I feel like I probably should like at least get in and practice a little bit, but it's kind of fun. And it's really easy to do, you know, when I'm just sitting around dealing with fleet carrier jump times, right? I've noticed a lot of people mauling about Copilot in Office. I don't blame you. I use a very old version of Office that I'm not upgrading anytime soon. But for my actual writing, like books and stuff, I use Scrivener, and it's as far as I'm aware. It didn't give me an update notice when I loaded it last night. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't have any of that BS in it. So, you know, if you are doing like long form writing, highly recommend Scrivener. It's like, you can get it on sale for like 35 bucks or something. And definitely worth it. I use it for pretty much all of my actual fiction. It's a fantastic little program. And like I said, as far as I'm aware, no AI BS pulled into it as well. But yeah, it's just incredibly dumb how these companies are pushing this stuff that everyone clearly does not want and is clearly not even profitable. Like, that's the funniest part, is like every other week we keep seeing how like all of these companies are like, yeah, we still can't figure out how to make money off of this because it's so expensive to run, but they keep doing it anyways. You know, it's like, all right, you know, keep bashing your head against that wall. What's another tech company going under? It's fine. Slaves to the slaughter. All right, let's see. I'm not even looking at a lot of these at this point. Maybe if Observatory would pop up with something cool. Not seeing a whole lot of cool stuff. There were a couple tiny bodies that we kind of looked at a little bit earlier. Passed by a little bit. They were tiny bodies according to Observatory, but still too large for me. They're like 200 kilometers across, which is very small. But at this point, like, nothing less than a galactic record will do. I've seen so many of those pop-up notifications, and like, yeah, that's kind of cool. You know, if it's gonna be like that, at least put it next to a ring or something. Plop it right on next to a gas giant. But that's fine. You know, we're still out there. Like, we're still kind of barely out of the gap between arms. You know, we'll get to some more interesting stuff as we get deeper and deeper in, and like I can start really kind of tunneling towards black holes and stuff. Hey, look, an egg. There's an egg planet. What is its rotation? 0.6 days. See, it's surprising that didn't pop up on Elite Observatory. It has very weird benchmarks. But when it comes to egg planets like this, there's a lot more that goes into it. You know, size of the planet, type of gas giant, on top of its rotational period. That is definitely one of the eggiest planets I think I have ever seen. It is definitely up there. All right, but still no Jolly Green. Wouldn't it be funny if I found one on stream? Of all the times that my streamer luck has never worked, finding a gas giant would be pretty sweet. Yeah, I doubt it would ever happen. I doubt it. You know, I will probably play this until the server shut down and still never find one of my own. But that would be kind of nice, you know, if they want to throw that streamer luck at me. I wouldn't say no. I feel like as much as I have streamed this game, and especially with how much we've done exploration, I feel like I just haven't found a whole lot of like anything super cool to show you guys. Maybe once or twice. It feels like it's always happening off stream when I'm just trying to get screenshots and stuff. All right, White Bat, go off. This is pretty hopeful. I don't know. This one is a chill synthwave playlist. This is Dare to Dream. Yeah, Dare to Dream. It's definitely like one of the more uplifting synthwave playlists that I think they've had. They do a lot of like dark synth kind of stuff, and like it's good. It just doesn't really fit the vibe, right? It doesn't fit what we're going for here on the stream. Ice World, yeah, not dealing with that BS. All right, off we go. We'll go ahead and chase down the fleet carrier. We'll go ahead and land on it. Maybe start making our way a little bit closer to the center of the galaxy. I was just kind of taking a little rest stop here. Like, I wasn't really planning on doing a ton of exploration until I was a little closer to the center. But I figured, you know what? Like, we're far enough out. I don't know how much of this has been discovered. Like, I'm out of the suppression band, which is the most important part. And I'm slightly to the right of the main, like, tunnel up to Sag A that everyone takes. It goes by the Great Annihilator and all that. Like, you really don't have to go far off the beaten path to try and find a bunch of undiscovered stuff. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, we'll turn it in. Anything good? Anything good? I'm really just trying as best as I can to scan every gas giant that I see, just in case. You never know. You never know. I never want to give up hope, because if I don't have some kind of goal, no matter how small out here, then yeah, it gets real easy to get real bored fast out here. That's why I always say, you know, don't worry about peak efficiency if you want to do exploration. It's probably the wrong way to do it. You're going to get really bored. Here we go. Oh, buddy. My voice can definitely tell I've not been streaming for a couple days. Getting a little scratchy. It's getting a little scratchy. That's okay. We'll deal. My pain is your entertainment. Oh, I know. Don't worry. I'm never gonna like do anything permanent. I don't do that much for comedy. I probably should. I'd probably get more viewers. Do the old jackass route VTuber style. But nah, I know my limits. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Okay. And so far, man, this is rough. Like, I've only found one system that really even had anything interesting in terms of like just what was that, A1? Okay, I guess we can go scan it. Why not? It's on the way. I've only had one system really that even had any high value bodies. It had quite a few. It had like 6, like half terraformable water worlds, half terraformable high metal content, I think, if I remember right. Aside from that, man, we haven't even seen any of that kind of stuff, huh? It's been a little dire out here. That's all right. This will help out. This will at least push the system over the threshold, so that's good. Like, just this one scan alone is worth like 1.2. I do kind of wonder, like, if they're planning on adding any more ships this year. I can't imagine they are. I feel like they're pretty comfortable with most of the ships that they've added. They don't want to add too many too fast, right? Like, it's kind of like any other MMO. It's just, you know, our ships are our class. So, yeah, you know, you get classes every expansion every, like, 2 to 3 years in a standard MMO. Like, this is nice. You know, get some new ships every 2 to 3 years would be okay if they stick with it. There we go. Did you see the did you see the starship explosion? I thought that was really funny. It sucks that, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's very funny because I appreciate our wet boy failing. Did pretty much everything he claims to do well. But it's also just kind of sucks that, like, we're in that era. Because obviously people live under that debris, and that's not great. So, like, yeah, you know, screw those guys, I guess. Ugh. But, you know, if we can have explosions over the ocean, I'm okay with that, I guess. I don't mind watching someone's hubris come back to bite them. All right. There was supposed to be a launch. I don't know if it actually went off or not, where NASA was going to be sending up another lunar probe, but I think this one was like another private company making a lunar probe that sounded kind of cool. But like last time I checked, it got scrubbed, and I don't know if they ever completed it on the makeup date. It's going to be like it's a 3-month journey or something like that, if I remember right. I need to double check, because that sounded really sweet. Yeah, let's just send some robots to the moon. I'm cool with that. And I'm real curious if they're going to be able to happen. Like, it seems like every time one of the private companies tries doing it, like it gets up there and then it just doesn't quite make it at the last second, right? Like, it's just that final little bit. So it'd be nice to have one that can actually, like, make that push and actually land correctly. That kind of thing is kind of exciting to me. I'd rather see a lot more of that stuff than more Starship launches, right? But yeah, last I checked, it was scrubbed. But it was like right in the middle of that cold blast, and now we've got another one coming through. It's always difficult because, as far as I know, like, lunar launches, if they're trying to go to the moon, they have like a very specific window. I mean, all launches have a specific window, but moon launches in particular, because it's, you know, it's flying around us, like, they got to be, it can get a little bit trickier. It's like if they miss their window, it can be a little bit more time than normal trying to get back, as far as I understand. Like I said, I need to go back and check the news, but it seemed really interesting. And then they had that new image come out from the Webb telescope, and that was sweet. It's another one of those deep range galaxy ones, but this one has like a bunch of blue stars like in the foreground, but it doesn't look like it's in the foreground. It's just because the galaxies are so big in the image that yeah, you don't really realize at first that they're like so far away compared to the stars that you see. Yeah, it's really cool. You can go check it out. I think it was published yesterday or the day before that. Really cool. It definitely helps to kind of look at the real life stuff in the middle of playing this game. It kind of gives you a little bit of that passion. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna go screenshot some stuff. And then you pass through like 500 systems that just nothing but icy bodies. You're like, man, I didn't screenshot shit. This sucks, man. Like I said, you gotta have a certain mindset if you want to go out here into the black for this long. It's definitely different. I can say that much. It's definitely not for everybody. All right, what do you got for me? Anything good? 20. Any gas giants? Ooh, we have a gas giant. There's always a chance. Nope. Okay, no chance. No jolly green here. It's all right. We're still gonna scan it just in case. Get that bag. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna hold everything and try and turn it in for merits later. If I'll just turn it in on the fleet carrier. Just get my name on it while I'm here. I'm kind of leaning towards that this time. I just feel like, I don't know, the merits last time just weren't worth it. Worth holding for like a whole week. Okay, there we go. Let's, you know, as we get closer to the center, I'll start yeeting myself into like white dwarfs and stuff. So probably a decent idea to go ahead and turn it in while I can, because I will probably die at least once on this trip. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna be paying that rebuy. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm feeling risky today. I'm feeling like getting a little wild once we get up there. Like, I really liked going to Dryman's Point, but as someone that really likes looking at black holes and all of the really kind of funky, dangerous systems, there really wasn't a whole lot of that. A lot of really good, you know, stellar phenomena and stuff. But like sometimes you just want to launch yourself at a black hole. I know they're not as dangerous in this game as they should be, but you know, there's always that little bit of fear. So I think I'm going to be doing a lot more of that this time, since we're going to areas that actually have some. Yeah, for you guys just joining in, I kind of talk about the whole merits and exploration thing, and clearing up some misconceptions at the beginning of this. So you'll be able to find it on the VOD. If you are watching this on the VOD, hi, thanks for making it this far. I'm kind of surprised you did, but you know, I appreciate it all the same. As always, like, subscribe, support the channel, help me escape the real life. No, oh man, it's kind of cool looking though. That's all right. This is the system with our fleet carrier, so we can take a little bit of time. It's cool. I think this is, yeah, I see it over there. All right, anything good? It's just all ice everywhere and forever. There's just no getting around it. That's all right. It's money. It's money in the bank. There we go. We're gonna need it. I am really curious what they meant by like, oh, it's not going to be quite that much when it comes to the colonization stuff. Like that's a big spread. I think it is going to be mostly in like the commodities. It's just, man, what are the commodities going to be like? Like rebuilding after the Thargoid attacks, you needed like 17,000 HE suits, like 12,000 aluminum. Like, is that what it's going to take to build these stations? I am very curious, because that's a lot for just one person to do, even with a fleet carrier. Like, just trying to load my fleet carrier up with tritium is just, I do like 3 runs and I'm like, man, this sucks. This really sucks, man. Even parked next to the station, this is a lot of back and forth. All right, there we go. Okay, last one. Anything good? No. Once again, life disappoints me. Or maybe I've disappointed life. Who really knows at this point? It's kind of a two-way street, probably. Oh, wow. Oh, Jesus. Okay. 1, 1, 1. It's all bacterium. Look at that shit. Look at that. That's some bull. That's some BS right there. Even the ones that are like 2. You can't fool me. You're an ice world. I'm not going all that way. Even with this many planets. But there you go. Pruofio DEE C26-3 if you want to scan a lot of germs. There you go. Have fun. Have at it, friends. I ain't doing it. I got better things to do with my time. Like losing in ranked in Marvel Rivals. Alright. Hello, Yosemite. I missed you. I should probably not get that. Well, you know what? I'm in the Mandalay. It runs cool. It's fine. Just put me in the center of the sun. It's where I belong. Finally end me. Oh. But that being said, you know, I think we'll probably go ahead and end it here. But like I said, I'm not even remotely close to where I'm planning on ending up. Once we get a little bit closer up there, I'll probably, you know, spend a little bit more time streaming this and exploring. I was just doing this as a little side trip, just to stretch the old wings a little bit. But that being said, we've got a long week coming up. I've got, obviously, a lot more FF9 we're going to be working on. Probably a lot of Marvel Rivals. If I had to guess, it'll probably mostly be Marvel Rivals. I don't know. We'll play it by ear and see. But yeah, keep an eye out. You know, like I was saying, like, subscribe, and get those notices on Blue Sky and all that, so you know when I'm going live. But we're gonna have some fun this week. I'm gonna rest my voice since it's been a couple of days, and I can kind of tell it's not liking it all that much. But yeah, you know, thanks a ton for coming along. Like I said, check out the beginning of the VOD. Couple minutes in, I start talking about how to get merits through exploration and clearing up some misconceptions that the Brown Sea, the official forums, keep having. But that being said, that was really the most important part of the stream. So, you know, the rest is just us vibing. Same as usual. There's not really a whole lot else to do out here in the black, right? But, you know, take care, everybody. I hope you have a good time out there exploring the galaxy or playing other games or just living your life. And I hope the rest of the weekend, it goes well for you. You know, take it easy into the start of the week. Enjoy the holiday weekend if you do get to enjoy it. That being said, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.